There you are, a tiny egg buried in warm sand along the Atlantic shoreline. A whole bunch of you, about 80,000 siblings, crammed together under a few inches of beach. Mom dropped you off during the full moon high tide. Did a little dance with Dad in the moonlight hand? That was that. No goodbye kiss, no see you later. Just fertilize and forget. Welcome to existence. After a month of sitting in your egg, you finally break free. You're barely the size of a pencil eraser. Your first challenge: dig upward through the sand without getting guillotined by the swarm of hungry shorebirds waiting for your grand entrance. As you and your thousands of siblings scramble toward the water, it's basically an all-you-can-eat buffet where you're the main course. Those birds don't even have toe-tree hard. Just stand there with their beaks open and wait for delivery. You'll make it to the water, swimming with your tiny legs, while your hard-shell macazoo look like a moving pebble. The ocean isn't exactly giving you a warm welcome. Fish are gobbling up your brothers and sisters faster than you can count. Out of those 80,000 eggs Mom laid, maybe 10 of you will make it past first year. Talk about terrible D's. Your life is basically eat or get eaten from day one. Your diet consists of worms, mollusks, and other tinny creatures hiding in the sand. Finding food requires digging through mud with your weird little legs while your body stays anchored above. Imagine trying to eat dinner while doing a permanent push. That's your life. Now your body isn't doing you any favors either. With 10 eyes scattered across your shell and body, you'd think you'd have amazing vision. Nope, most of those eyes can only detect light and dark. And the Ristari, so basic they might as well be. You navigate mostly by feeling your way around with your legs and pincers. Those famous tails Spikesaverian recognizes, they're not weak, they're just there to help flip you over when waves knock you upside down. Without them, you'd be like a turtle on its back, except without that cute struggling. Every few weeks, your body decides it's outgrown your shell. Time to mole. Your shell splits open along the front rim, and you have Torrigal out of it like it's the world's tightest sweater. While your new shell is still soft, your basic lightfiness against everything and better hide until it hardens, which takes days. This whole process happens about 16 to 17 times before you're fully grown. Each mole is more uncomfortable than the last one. And each time you're left vulnerable and soft, hoping nothing notices your crunchy exterior is temporarily out of 4 years into life, and you're still a juvenile, hanging out in shallow nursery areas where bigger predators can't easily reach you. Your neighborhood is a mix of sandbars and seagrass beds, all within a few feet off shoreline. You spend your days blowing through mud like a miniature boulder, using your specialized front claws to capture worms and smell crustaceans. Nighttime is when you really become active, feeling safe render the cover of darkness despite your terrible eyesight. By the time you reach 10 years old, you've finally hit puberty. That's right, a decade of life for your body decides it's ready to think about reproducing. You're now about the size of a dinner plate with your horseshoe-shaped shell fully formed and hardened. If you're male, you're a bit smaller and have modified front claws that look like boxing gloves, perfect for holding on to a family during mating. If you're female, you're a larger and have regular claws because you need specialized appendages when you're the one carrying all those eggs. Now comes the weird part of growing up. Your body starts producing chemicals that make you want to head to the beach during specific full moons. It's like an overwhelming urge to attend a very specific party. The water temperature, it's just right. The moon is full and suddenly you're migrating towards shore long, with thousands of others just like Koa. For females, this annual pilgrimage means dragging yourself onto the beach while possibly carrying a male on your back. He's been hanging on for weeks, sometimes months, waiting for talk about clingy. You dig ashalow nest in the sand with your rear section, lay thousands of eggs while the molly fertilizes them. Then you drag yourself back to the water, leaving your offspring to fend for themselves. Parenting complete. If your male antecedent managed to grab onto a femmelbee for the beach party, you're left scrambling around the shoreline, desperately seeking unattached femalicar, trying to knock other males off the ride. It's basically bumper cars, but with more desperation and less amusement park music. After the mating frenzy, it's back to the ocean depths for another year. You venture out further now, sometimes going hundreds of feet deep, where the pressure would crush many other creatures. Your ancient body design handles it just fine. After all, your ancestors were doing this 450 million years ago, long before dinosaur savanna existed. Food becomes harder to find as you age. Your body demands more, yet your primitive design isn't textually optimized for efficient hunting. You plow through the seafloor like an organic tractor, hoping to disturb worms and mollusks to make a meal. Sometimes you find plenty, sometimes you go hungry. By age 20, you're a seasoned veteran of ocean life. Your shell bears the scars of near misses with predators and rough encounters with rocks during storms. Spikes might be broken or worn down from years of flipping. After waves have had their fun with you, you've survived countless molts, predator attacks, and habitat. Despite your primitive design and strange appearance, you have one superpower that's made you invaluable. That's right. Your blood is blue because it uses copper instead of iron to carry oxygen. But the really special part is that your blood contains a substance called limulus abilysate, instant lyclates when it contacts certain bacteria. This makes your blood incredibly useful for detecting contaminants in medical equipment and vaccines. For this reason alone, you and your kind get caught, drained of about 30% of your blood, then released back to the ocean. Imagine aging, abducted by aliens who drain your blood and then dump you back on Earth, all without explanation. As you approach 30 years old, your body begins to slow down. Finding food requires more effort, and escaping predators your once sufficient gills collect sediment and parasites, making breathing harder. Your joints stiffen, your movements become more labored. Yet somehow you keep going, driven by instincts programmed into your species for hundreds of millions of years. Your 40th birthday comes and goes without. In the wild, reaching the Sage is a remarkable achievement. Many of your kind don't make it past 20. Your shell is now a patchwork of repairs, from injuries, and parasites. Parts of it may be missing entirely, leaving you vulnerable in those areas. Migration becks more difficult each year. That journey to the breeding beaches, Thatton seemed manageable now. Takes of everything you've got. One spring, you might not make it at all. Your body finally giving out after decades off struggle. Or perhaps a storm flips you onto your back on a remote beach, far from water, with no one to help you flip. After hours of struggling with your tail spike, exhaustion sets in and you become food for the gulls and crabs. Or maybe, just maybe, you reach the ripe old age of 50, making you one of the oldest horseshoe crabs on record. You've served being prey, a blood donor, pollution, habitat loss, and countless other challenges. You've produced hundreds of thousands of eggs over your lapidum, with perhaps a handful serving to adulthood. In your final days, as your ancient body begins to toss out down, you drift with the current, no longer able to fight against it. Your last moments might be spent washing ashore, during a storm where you'll become part of the beach that once cradled you as an egg. Full circle, and all that jazz. And to think after 450 million years of evolution, nature looked at your species and said, "Yep, that's perfect. Don't change a thing." Turns out, when you look like a living fossil and bleed blue blood, that's worth more than gold. Nobody cares that your eyes don't work and your best defensive mechanism is flipping yourself over with a glorified poker. Rock on, you magnificent prehistoric weirdo.